Dramatic tone, slow-paced music builds. What if I told you? One player, not the commissioner, not the owners, helped steer the entire NBA away from collapse. In 2020, the world stopped. The league shut down overnight. TV revenue evaporated. Seasons, contracts, and livelihoods all at risk. Then the NBA built a bubble. And LeBron James? He didn't just play, he led. This is the untold story of how LeBron helped save the league we love. Section 1. The Crisis. Hits. Basketball goes dark. March 2020. A positive COVID test. One player, one announcement. And suddenly, the entire NBA froze. Arenas turned silent. Security guards, concession workers, and arena staff all sent home. TV partners faced empty schedules. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was survival for a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. Executives scrambled to calculate losses. Without games, the league stood to lose over $1 billion in revenue. Teams faced bankruptcy risks. Smaller markets like Memphis and New Orleans worried if they could even exist post-pandemic. For players, it meant pay cuts. For staff, potential layoffs. And for fans, it meant the heartbeat of the NBA was gone. The NBA had survived lockouts, financial crises, even world wars. But never this. This was the greatest existential threat in its history. B-roll, news headlines, deserted arenas, dim locker rooms, flashing, postponed banners. Section 2. The bubble plan. Building the impossible. The answer came from an idea that sounded insane at first. Bring the entire league to one place. And don't let anyone out. Orlando. Disney World. A bubble city where players, coaches, referees, and staff would live, eat, and compete. Isolated from the world. The logistics were staggering. Over 1,700 people moved in. Frequent testing, daily temperature checks, security zones, medical tracing, quarantine housing, and even psychological support teams. Every game had to be broadcast without fans, yet still feel electric. Cameras were repositioned. Digital crowd noise was tested. Even the floor patterns were redesigned for TV visibility. The total cost? Over $180 million, all funded by the NBA and team owners. But if it worked, the rewards were huge. Save the season, save the business, and save jobs. It was a moonshot, but the only option left. B-roll, bubble setup footage, buses entering Disney, sanitization crews, drones over the ESPN wide world of sports. Section 3. LeBron's leadership. Quiet power in chaos. When uncertainty hit, all eyes turned to the league's biggest name, LeBron James. He had influence beyond basketball. Players listened when he spoke. Behind closed doors, LeBron organized calls with other stars. Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis, discussing the risks and sacrifices. He knew the restart wasn't just a game. It was a statement of unity. He didn't pressure anyone to play, but he led by example. He called for empathy, reminding veterans and rookies alike. This isn't just about us. It's about everyone who depends on this league. Publicly, LeBron balanced two worlds: the competitive athlete who wanted to finish the season and the activist who demanded justice for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. In that balance, he reframed the bubble, not just as a financial fix, but as a movement. B-roll, LeBron's interviews, team meetings, his more than an athlete campaign, Lakers practice sessions in the bubble. Section 4. The NBPA, a union that changed history behind the scenes. The NBPA, led by Chris Paul and Executive Director Michelle Roberts, fought for every detail. Testing frequency, family visits, mental health resources. Players didn't just want a paycheck, they wanted protection. LeBron's voice strengthened theirs. When he supported the union's conditions, owners listened. Negotiations stretched deep into the night. Every clause mattered. Even things like chefs, hotel assignments, and recreational spaces. Because mental fatigue was real. Imagine 3 months inside the same hotel, cut off from family, under constant testing. Without that collective push, the bubble might have crumbled under stress. The NBPA became a symbol of unity. Players realizing their voice wasn't just collective bargaining power, it was cultural power. B-roll, NBPA meetings, Chris Paul interviews, behind-the-scenes clips of players on video calls. Section 5, the return, keeping the lights on. When the first game tipped off inside the bubble, it was surreal. No fans, just echoes, sneakers, and pure focus. But for the NBA's survival, it was a lifeline. ESPN, TNT, ABC, all desperately needed content. Advertisers returned, sponsorship deals revived, the league salvaged hundreds of millions in TV contracts. Players received full salaries. Teams could pay their staff again. The product was different, but it worked. Fans at home tuned in, craving anything that felt normal. The ratings weren't perfect, but the engagement was global. And the 2020 NBA Finals, Lakers versus Heat, became a symbol of resilience. LeBron leading the Lakers to a championship in that isolated environment wasn't just a victory, it was a message. The game lives on. B-roll, bubble finals highlights, virtual fan walls, trophy ceremony with confetti. Section 6, the social justice movement, basketball with a voice. The bubble became more than basketball. It became a megaphone. Players wore Black Lives Matter jerseys. Court floors displayed social messages. Pre-game interviews became platforms for real issues. LeBron, through his More Than a Vote initiative, encouraged millions to register and vote. The NBA used its visibility to spark conversations far beyond sports. When the Milwaukee Bucks led a playoff boycott after the Jacob Blake shooting, LeBron supported the movement and helped broker the path forward that balanced activism with continuation. For the first time in NBA history, the players' collective voice shaped national discourse. The bubble wasn't just about containment, it was connection between sport and society. B-roll, player protests, social justice messages on court, interviews with LeBron and Chris Paul. Section 7, Legacy, what the bubble changed forever. The NBA emerged different. Health protocols, crisis playbooks, digital fan engagement, all became permanent fixtures. Owners learned the value of player partnership. Executives realized that trust was the new currency. And LeBron? He solidified his legacy beyond the stat sheet. Not just a 4-time champion, but a stabilizer when chaos reigned. A player who carried a league through its darkest hours and reminded the world that leadership isn't just about points, it's about people. Ask any league insider today. The bubble might have saved the NBA's economic structure. But the belief that it could work? That came from its leaders, and LeBron was front and center. B-roll, post-bubble interviews, LeBron with teammates, montage of players leaving the bubble. Outro. So, did LeBron save the NBA? Maybe not alone, but without his leadership, courage, and unity, the story could have ended very differently. Because in 2020, when the world shut down, one man helped keep the game alive. Beat. Music fades out. If you want more deep dives like this, subscribe, like, and tell me in the comments. What moment from 2020 showed you how powerful players can really be?